And I'm insurance, you know, I pay taxes and so on. And it's like, no, you appear like you are not working here. You appear like you're illegal and stuff like this. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, I'm working here for like 6 months and so on. And I was feeling so sick that day. I was literally crying, like I was in pain. I just needed medication, you know.
You're basically like lost in this other country. You don't have any friends. You don't know what's how, and there's a lot of trickery, like with soldier and everything. Like it's not working. Why it's not working? I live here. You don't live here. With all that struggle beside, and you went through it, and then you're really happy.
Yes, exactly. It's a matter of your attitude always. So if you're having this attitude, oh, everything is bad, I hate it, I hate this and this and this, then you're gonna only see that. You have to have this attitude of trying, generally speaking, as a foreigner. You have to put more effort, so that's normal. It went step by step, and every step of the way happened at its own time. So it's a way an adventure, generally speaking, living abroad, wherever you're living,
That's
you know.
a big adventure, like.
So it's a matter of all this process that I was talking about, 4 years, that my experience in the beginning was so different than my experience now. And now I can say that I love being here and I really enjoy, you know. Then I experienced both sides. I experienced the dark side, let's just call it, in the beginning. And now I'm like, okay, I know how to handle things, you know, like I know how to take things. I love, you know, like these differences and so on, because now I know how to deal with them. So,
hello everyone, I'm really excited to finally finish and publish this podcast with Andra. We spoke about a lot of things, including her experience in Lithuania, social media creation, struggles as a foreigner, and it was really inspirational. I found her story very useful for everyone, and I hope it will change your perspective towards foreigners, or if you're a foreigner yourself and living in a different country. And of course, big shout out to HBH Vilnius for letting us the space for filming. Enjoy!
Hello everyone, welcome back to Artūro Media podcast. Today we have Andra Folea. Did I spell it nicely?
Yes, it's amazing.
So she's Romanian content creator and influencer, currently based in Lithuania, with over 7,000 followers on Instagram and 36,000 followers on TikTok. I would love to talk with you about your journey as content creator, your experience in Lithuania, Romania, and all of this that you created like through the last few years, basically.
Sure. I'm
It's
excited.
really nice to meet you, and we planned this like in the summer. I was moving, you were traveling, and then we finally were here.
Finally, I'm gonna be here actually for a few months, so it's good to chill sometimes, you know. So
it's really nice to have you, and most content you put out on TikTok and everything is about Lithuania.
Yes, I like Lithuania so much that I'm like, I cannot get it out of my content.
Okay, so how long have you been in Lithuania?
I moved to Lithuania in August 4 years ago, 2018 I think was that, yes. Actually it was end of July, like very, very close to August. And well, it's been a lot of, you know, it's been a hell of a road, you know, since then, with ups and downs, but happy to be here, you know.
So once you came, what were some cultural shocks? Like what did you expect, didn't expect, like what was that?
Well, first of all, that was when I moved to Lithuania. Was not the first time that I was actually in Lithuania, because I used to date a Lithuanian guy. Actually, this was the reason why I moved here.
I saw you on TikTok.
Yeah, so I moved here for love, let's just say it like this, to some extent, because anyway, I wanted to leave Romania. I had 1 year left of university, and then I had in plan, okay, I really want to go and travel, well, work abroad, you know. I don't want to work in Romania. So for me at that time, Lithuania seemed the safest option, since I had my ex that was from here. I thought that he's gonna help me to integrate, you know, it's gonna be so much easier, paperwork, everything, so on and so forth, you know. And I remember I came first to visit him in November 2017. That was my first time in Lithuania. It was during winter, you know, but well, everyone is talking about Lithuanian winter, but we have very tough winter in Romania as well, so it was nothing so surprising. And I remember the first time everything seemed like beautiful to me, especially Vilnius. We were just walking around, It was towards the end of November, so I think they already had the lights for Christmas and everything, so everything looked so Christmassy. It was very nice. I stayed for 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. And one of the things that actually surprised me the most, it was the first time we went to eat kebab here. And we have kebab in Romania, it's called shawarma actually. But like, this is the big size, you know, of a shawarma in Romania. And I went to this kebab place that I still go. It's my favorite kebab place ever. And I saw that he gave us like this, and I'm not overreacting, like this big kebab. I'm like, what? How, first of all, you find lavash that big, you know, to make such huge kebabs? So I had this impression, huge kebabs in Lithuania, very nice, should move here, you know.
Okay, so there were some little like these small things like kebabs, Christmas lights, nice city in Vilnius. Anything else that falls
Well,
in mind?
that first time that I visited, for sure I couldn't see much, you know, like I couldn't see much of the culture. You don't experience actually the culture as a tourist. You get to know the culture and the country overall when you start moving, and you have to go through all the processes, you know, like work, migration, so on and so forth, you know. So it was very difficult for me at the beginning when I actually moved here, and I was very sad. I was crying a lot because of that, and I don't want to seem like unconsiderate, but this is how I was feeling, you know. So
so why was those things? It was hard. It was
yes,
unpredictable. Like
it's not
frustrating.
Yes, it was not what I expected it to be. I mean, first of all, I didn't really have any expectations because I was 22 when I moved here, and I didn't have such the mentality that I have now, for example. But I came here, and for me it was very difficult to form connections with people. That was the thing that really, I think, hit me the most. It was that, oh my God, you don't just like meet someone and you're like vibing with them, you know, because this is how we are in Romania, generally speaking. Oh, you meet someone, they are like so interested in you, especially if you're a foreigner. They want to know a lot about you, like, oh my God, you're my best friend, so on and so forth. Fake, you know, in the end of the day, but you still feel like kind of close to someone. And here, I was like, I don't have really anyone that is close besides my ex, and we were not good in our point in our relationship. So I was that, and I am still that type of person. If something is going wrong in my life, I'm like putting that energy towards everything, you know, that it's in my life. And it was, oh my God, I remember even with the migration office that I had to go there, and they were not speaking English in that time, so I had to always have a translator with me. Even going to the doctor, to the family doctor, you know, I remember once there was this situation. So my name is Andra, actually Andra Camelia. And for some reason, my mother decided to put a line between Andra and Camelia. So there is a line, Andra, line, Camelia, in my passport. And I started working, I started having Sodra and everything. They gave me an Azmenskoda, so on and so forth. And I remember I went once to the doctor, and I'm insurance, you know, I pay taxes and so on. And it's like, no, you appear like you are not working here. You appear like you're illegal and stuff like this. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, I'm working here for like 6 months and so on. And I was feeling so sick that day. I was literally crying, like I was in pain. I just needed medication, you know. It's like, no, I cannot give you anything. I cannot give you sick leave from work because you don't appear in the system. So on and so forth. So I called Sodra, what is happening, why they are saying that they cannot give me sick leave, I cannot go to work, you know, like this. And there was actually a problem that I was registered as 2 different people. There was one Andra/Camelia and Andra line Camelia. And they didn't make the connection between Sodra and Azmenskodas and some system. So yeah, all this kind of stuff, you know, that encounter in the beginning. So that's what it made it very difficult.
So is it easier now with the Lithuanian language, or do you get misunderstood a lot still?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's way easier now, and I really enjoy my time here. And I think that there were actually a lot of things that changed in the past, especially 2 years. I think that in the 2 years, the Vilnius overall, because I'm talking generally about Vilnius since I'm living here, it grew so much, and I feel like people are kind of like are kinder, you know, and like smiling more, happier, it seemed to me. I don't speak Lithuanian language yet, you know. Let's go there. No, actually, I started courses. I started taking classes last year in November. But I was in Romania the entire time. And after that, I went to Ecuador. I'm like, how do I do the courses with 7 hours of time difference, you know? I will start again in October. On the 3rd of October is going to be my first. Let's just call it first, because what I did before was not important.
So it's overall like the courses, or like a repetitor works with you, like what's...
I'm gonna go to... So there is this girl that she's a teacher, actually, Lithuanian teacher, and it's gonna be a class. So I don't know, I think there's gonna be 10 of us that we're gonna do... and I actually like the idea more of doing them physically, because before I was doing them online and I was not putting that much effort, you know. I don't know how people that were studying 3 years online put effort into school.
I know how I was studying, and the grades were amazing.
Yeah, so well, at least that, yes. So it's gonna be 10 of us, and I'm really excited because I'm gonna have to go there. I can also like meet new people and so on that have the same interest as me, learning Lithuanian. So yeah.
So there are a lot of rough patches, like starting out and everything. But what kind of your 5 favorite things about Lithuania?
Okay, let me think about it.
What's popped to mind?
First of all, I was even thinking when I was coming here, I was just thinking how everything is so green. Like you have a lot of forests, you know. And for me, that's super amazing because it changes, the colors are changing throughout the seasons. So I was just going on the highway, I think it's a highway here or whatever. And it was like so beautiful, you know, like very green, the same way as you're going. One thing that also really surprised me was Nida, generally speaking, and how you have structured the seaside, because it's so mind-blowing for me that you actually have to go through a forest in order to get to the seaside. I never saw that in my entire life, you know.
So this is like, a lot of people say the same, you're closer to nature and you get more used to the seasons. Same in your life, like there are some good seasons, as you said, you came on the winter, it was hard and everything, then was
yes, exactly, yes. And I think it, you know, to be honest with you, I think it's a matter of your own attitude. And I will tell you here what really made the change for me in my attitude in here, when I lived here. Because in the beginning, I couldn't form connection with anyone. I was going at work, everyone in my team, there were 15 people, we were 3 foreigners, the rest of them were Lithuanians. They were only speaking in Lithuanian between themselves, and I was feeling so left out because I like to talk, you know, so I wanted to join conversations, and they would not give me that chance to join conversations, and I was feeling very sad. It was the same thing with my ex's friend. They were speaking English, but when they were with them, I was the only foreigner, so they were speaking Lithuanian, you know, and I just came here for a few months, and I'm like, how can I get close to anyone if they...
out on the side always.
If they don't give me the chance. So I was like I was crying a lot. I remember I was crying so much, and I talked at work. At some point, we had a team meeting, and I said this, look guys, like, we are 3 foreigners here, you're 12 Lithuanians. I really understand that you like speaking your language, but just give us a chance, you know, to be part of your conversations, because I'm interested what you're talking about, you know. I didn't feel like they're talking about me, for sure not, but it's just like this left out, you know, feeling. And the things change, you know, be it for a few days, then again, you know. So I remember I had a one-to-one with my manager, and I told her that, you know, things are not changing, I'm very sad, blah, 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 so on. And like what that woman said, it's what changed completely my mentality. She said that, look, Andra, you, even though this might sound bad, you are 3 minorities here with like 12 majorities. The change doesn't have to come from them, because it's harder to make a change in a like bigger group. It's easier to make a change in a smaller group. So every time you're gonna hear your colleagues speaking in Lithuanian and so on, just jump in the conversation and say, hey guys, what are you talking about, you know?
That's amazing.
Yeah, so this, like, really, in that moment, I was like, oh, this woman, like, she doesn't understand me, you know? But then in a few days, I really was thinking about that, and I actually really started doing that with my colleagues, and I was just jumping in the conversations like, oh, what are you talking about? Can I tell my opinion, you know, and so on and so forth. And that really helped, like it helped, and I have such an amazing, still have such an amazing relationship with them. I'm not working there for 3 years, but we kept connections, you know, and so on. They are super nice people, but it's just this barrier that you have to kind of break as a foreigner, because I feel like Lithuanians, generally speaking, they will not make the first step, you know?
Yeah, we're more conservative.
Yes, exactly. You are very nice people and you're such good friends, but it really, you have to try harder, you know, to get to that position like you would try with like my culture, for example, and probably it will not even be such a connection because we're fake, you know, so...
But I see through every podcast there's like one sentence that just clicks with me. We did about photography, and then the photographer said, we photographers paint with light. And then like we take the brush, we take the light, and then we paint the picture.
Yeah.
And that clicked with me really good. I had a podcast about ADHD and use autosave. Like if you're doing something and you forget to do something, like have a smiley face next to your door, and once you lock it, look at it. Autosave. And I was like, wow. And now you said the store like, the changes have to come from the minorities, not majority. I'm like, yeah, it's obvious. Like, few people can easily change and like try something. And you have a big group. Hey, everyone speaks different language. And what do you want?
Yes.
So that's So every podcast there's one sentence.
Yeah. So you got yours now too.
That's amazing. And through all, you started your social media career. So you actually started your Instagram on October 2013.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Do
nice.
you remember your first photo?
I think so. It was with glasses. Yes. yes.
So I did scroll deep enough to see, okay, you're a lot of, in Lithuania, I think, most people will know you as a social media creator.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
And you started your TikTok first video on August 28, 2020.
Yes, first video, yes, but like really having a direction, let's just call it like this, like having an idea in mind, because I wanted to have an idea in mind, you know, I didn't just start TikToks like, let's just like post a video. No, I really wanted to be dedicated to do that.
And to create something.
So yes, exactly. And I think that I really started posting, as I said, content about Lithuania and so on the 31st of December 2020 actually. That was my, let's just say, the first TikTok post, kind of like, was not the first, but the real one. Like this.
So what led you to more Lithuanian type of content, and is it the culture that you moved here or something like that?
Yes, I mean, I downloaded TikTok quite late. So I downloaded TikTok, I think, 1 month before my first video, that was in August, you know. So sometime in that summer, which TikTok was already for 1 year in that time. And
that's not late, just to say. I started using like several months ago.
So well, it's never too late, you know. So yeah, so I started checking TikTok, and I was very obsessed, like everyone in the beginning. And I was getting a lot of videos of other girls, generally speaking girls, that were living in other countries, and they were foreigners, you know. So they were just saying their experience and so on. I remember.
That perspective, yeah.
Yes, exactly. This girl from Germany, there was another girl from Croatia and so on. I'm like, wow, this is super interesting, and this is something that no one does on Lithuanian TikTok, because at that moment when, I mean, there was Fabian, that he was trying food and so on, but not really talking about Lithuania, you know, and like how I see Lithuania as a foreigner. I said, oh, that's super cool. That's an idea that I think that I really like, and I have a lot of videos that I can make about that. So this is how it started with Lithuania. Of course, I get the inspiration to start this from somewhere else. Like I saw these girls, and after that you just adjust, you know, and you get content and so on and so forth. Yeah, of course,
it's really nice, you know. So that it motivates you to do more content, your experience and what you went through, and overall like foreigners' experience in different countries.
Yes, exactly. I really wanted to share with the people my idea as a foreigner about Lithuania. What are the struggles that I've been through? what are the things that I like, what are the things that I don't dislike. Sometimes people get very offended about the things that I don't dislike, like they take it very personal that I'm saying that you don't say hi to your neighbors, you know, generally speaking, but it's like, you don't have, I'm not saying that that's bad, you know, like people have to understand if I'm saying something that they believe it's negative, no, or saying that Lithuanians are introverts, oh my God, like, you're calling us introverts, it's not like that, no, we hug people all the time. I'm like...
I saw a TikTok about hugging.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, you don't. You as a majority, you don't do that. And that's not something bad. It's not bad to be introvert and it's not good to be extrovert. There is no such thing, you know. Every person is different and there is no good or bad in this situation.
But overall, you would consider yourself introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert, definitely, yes. Maybe this is why it's like it was more difficult in the beginning, because it's me extrovert with a culture that is an introvert culture, you know. So I'm like, why you don't give me feedback to my extrovert way, you know? So
kind of like the closed door until you open it, then
exactly, yes.
So I bet you met a lot of extroverted people.
Yes, oh my God, I have so many good friends, Lithuanian friends that are extroverted, are introverts as well, you know? So I'm not saying that introverts are bad, definitely not. Like I love people, generally speaking. It's just, if they are different from you, then it's a little bit more, it's harder to build a connection in the beginning, because no, I didn't meet an introvert that it's an introvert once you are friends with them, you know. They all become but yes, but you have friends, you're in your group of friends, you're gonna be very like kind of like sociable with them, no?
It depends, yeah.
And you don't consider you that introvert. What are you saying? We were talking here, like, you know, so it's not that introvert.
I will live like a week, I won't want to speak like with anyone, like for a week, and then like, yeah, I go out, it's like, everyone think like introvert, like you don't like, mostly not like communication, you don't like to speak. But actually, we don't like big groups.
Okay.
That drains our energy.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed you can say it's like comparison that introvert wakes up in the morning with five pennies. Every time he speaks, he hangs out, he loses one.
Yes.
And then he goes back in the home, and then he's tired and he's empty.
Okay.
Extroverted wakes up with 0, and every time he communicates anything, he gets more energy.
That's true, because you're getting your energy from people if you're extrovert. And,
so it's a lot of like, you can hang out with some people, you will be happy. With other people, we call them energy vampires. They just will suck your life out of you.
Yes. That's actually true. That's a very nice way to
put it. So it's the same with activities. Like you saw me strong like that, and the lights and the cameras and everything. But I feel joined it. Like you create something, you have an idea, and then you bring it back to life.
Yes.
So I think it's similar with your TikTok, right?
Yes.
You work like it's not like just nothing. I just throw the camera on.
No.
You have to think ideas.
Exactly.
I saw you asked on Instagram for some hints or something. There's a lot of work, but there's bigger payoff.
It's a process. It's a process, everything, that's for sure. And it's not just like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna film in. There are some videos, yes, that are like that on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, I see this very nice sound. I'm scrolling, you know, on For You page, I see this very nice sound. I'm like, oh, I have this idea, let's just do a TikTok now, you know.
But really,
that's usually those are usually the videos that don't even perform that well, just because you're not putting a lot of effort into them. I feel like, you know, if you're creating a story behind the video, like my most recent video is like interview for Lithuanian citizenship, you know, like that's impossible just to feel like you have. I really spend like hours like writing down ideas, like what questions can I ask and so on and so forth, you know, for the video. So it's I cannot say it's a lot of work, you know, because it's not like, oh my God, I'm drained of energy.
So I think a lot of people mislead like hard work and difficult work.
Yes.
So hard work would be to bring bricks, like that's hard. You know?
Yes.
But difficult, it doesn't mean that's a lot of demanding, but you have to think a lot of other things.
Yes, exactly.
So creating TikTok, creating scripts, creating everything, it's not hard. It's just difficult.
Exactly. That's totally true.
So that's the thing, the main misconception that people get, like, oh, you're a programmer, you sit on a computer, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not hard, you're not physically working, but difficult.
Yes, that's true.
So, and you started out, you have reached, as I said, quite I don't know, in terms of TikTok, like 36,000 followers, like it's a lot, it's not like from the TikToker. How do you feel about that
I
number?
feel good about it. I don't have followers only from Lithuania. I have some from Ecuador from the time I was there. I have some from Romania, UK. Recently I've seen some USA there, you know, but majority, yes, it's Lithuanian, that's for sure. And I'm happy with that number, you know. I like it. I'm not doing this as this is my hobby, so I'm not monetizing TikTok. I have a life outside of TikTok, you know.
So we will continue with that.
Yes,
further on.
yes.
It may be from your experience from over 36,000. What kind of tips or tricks, like what did you learn along the way so that a new creator would learn and get some advice from you?
To have a niche. That's important. First of all, to be dedicated to something. And I was actually having, I was watching a lot of TikToks about strategy and so on and so forth, like how you should do your TikTok, you know, like
how to approach it.
Yes, exactly. Most of them were saying, oh, you have to have a niche. I'm like, niche, whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, I want to post about my life, you know, my life is my niche. And no, I really think that it's important to have something like fashion or cooking or whatever. Of course, it's nice from time to time to do something that is personal, you know, like about yourself. Yeah, and
or
like
to try something new.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I like that. At some point, for example, I tried couple videos. After that, I tried just like generally funny videos. Now I got back to Lithuanian ones, but just like usually the most of the content has to be in one direction, you know. Now if you're doing something that is different, you know, it doesn't matter, but you have to choose a direction and just be constant. That's not something that I am, but probably I would have more followers if I would be more constant.
So how often do you post?
I really hope there would be like a number, but I think
like somewhat, like once a week, twice?
No, I think that I do post like 3 times a week. There are weeks where I post like more often. There are weeks where I'm like, yes. There were some times when I was posting twice a day or something. Generally speaking, lately, I think I'm going with around like 3 videos and so on, because I'm not even thinking too much about it. You know, it's like, oh, I should do a TikTok now. I have this idea and so on and so forth. You know, it comes just very natural.
Yeah,
before I was more, before I was more like, oh my God, I have to do this. I haven't posted in a while. Now it's like, oh, I haven't posted, but you know, like I have an idea, so I will do it.
Yeah. We spoke about in photography, like idea or equipment. In photography, in the filming, like in the social media, like do you want numbers or something, or do you want to get that idea to life and just create? Just be creative and look at that aspect.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not everything about just the numbers, how many you post, how many views and everything. Exactly. It's more like, what do you create, what do you want, how you feel after creating.
Exactly. So that's for sure true, you know, because even if you're posting 10 times a day, you know, but you're not posting anything that it's...
you might dry out soon and that will be a big strain on psychological.
Yes, that's true.
And we will continue with some social media creation. And we are here in HBH Vilnius, an amazing place for you to eat, for you to spend your time. And we'll continue after this message.
Savaitgalis su šeima tikrai ne bėda. HBH Vilnius pasirūpins nuostabiu maistu ir visos jūsų šeimos pramogomis. Vaikai čia gali džiaugtis žaidimų kambariu, nuotykių parku ir net batutu, kol suaugusieji gali mėgautis pirtimis, baseinu ir nuostabiu kraštovaizdžiu. Mylime vaikus ir suprantame šeimos gyvenimą, todėl čia pasijusite lyg namuose. HBH Vilnius. Čia visada gera.
And we are back. And we spoke a bit about social media creation and everything, but I think what most people forget basically with models, especially on Instagram and influencers, like, you see a great photos of a model in lingerie and a fabulous hotel, and then like we forget that they're even a living being, like they have jobs, they need to eat, like, and you forget everything. Like, yeah, we see this image, and we see TikTokers like, yeah, you just talk about Lithuania. It's like, if you would meet you in person, like from the TikTok, you will just speak, oh, the Lithuanians, that Lithuanians.
Yes.
And most people like lose in touch in that. Like we have jobs, like we work something, and there's different projects. We don't have just TikTok, we have different hobbies and everything. So how about you? What is your life beyond social media, beyond TikTok, and like how do you live? What do you do?
How do I live? Difficult every day. No, joking, but yeah, so my job, my real life job
Sounds good.
A reality strike, you know, like a reality check is I'm actually working as a market researcher. So I'm an analyst, market analyst. I work with numbers, so in statistics. More exactly, I analyze data from beauty and fashion industries in Romania. So that's my main concern. The company is Lithuanian, but they are doing the research for all Eastern Europe here, and I'm responsible for Romania.
Like,
yes, it's so much easier because they actually need Romanian people, because they need people that know the language, know the culture, know why they consume this and they don't consume this, and so on and so forth.
So everyone who thinks people only dance on TikTok and are stupid, no, that's wrong. You can be an analyst and like, you know, like business in the front, party on the back. Like, every day, like analyst, hardcore marketing research, and then party on the back TikTok.
Yes, and it is like that. So,
and overall, like we get so disconnected from the real life, even how it could be. Like, yeah, TikTok, so you work and then everything's just like magic, nothing happens. So, do you like cooking?
It's far from that. Actually, I do. There was a time for a few months, I would say maybe 1 year, where I felt that, oh my God, like I'm so fed up with the cooking, you know, and everything, and I was ordering way more. But lately, I really start enjoying cooking again, and like I'm cooking every day. My father is a chef, actually, so yes.
I wouldn't say genes, but yeah, when you grow up with a lot of home cooking, yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, and I'm kind of like used to this idea of cooking and so on and so forth. He was actually never cooking at home, to be honest with you. So only recently, 5 years ago, since I moved from home, he cooks every time that I'm home, you know. But that's because it's a celebration. Yeah, so, yes.
And what do you like to cook?
Everything.
Okay, so I will make a complex question. What do you like to cook, and how much Lithuanian cuisine made a difference in your cooking?
Okay, so I do enjoy cooking anything. My favorite thing is pasta, that's for sure, just because I grew up with pasta.
I would interrupt. Do you make your own pasta from scratch, or
no? I mean the pasta itself. I buy it for sure. You know, I haven't tried though. I've seen some TikTok videos recently with people doing their own pasta. I'm like, maybe I should try. You know, once,
and then just forget about it because too much work.
It's messy because of the flour. You know, so it's gonna be flour everywhere and so on and so forth. I'm like.
No.
I would cook so much often if there would be someone that would always clean after me, because I'm a messy cooker. Like, it's a mess. Always everything.
For friends to cook together.
Yes. Yeah, I cook, you wash the dishes, you know. Or
no, like cook together, you do a little bit and then clean everything.
Yeah, that's also true. So I cook a lot of pasta. I like cooking pasta just because I was raised with pasta. Since my father was a chef in Italy, so when I was younger, he went there to work, because there were not a lot of possibilities, you know, in Romania. He worked there for 7 years in a kitchen, and then he returned home and he opened restaurant, Italian restaurant. So that was since I'm 8 years old. So I remember always eating in Italian restaurants, you know. So I grew up with that cuisine, let's just call it like this. And I enjoy eating a lot of pasta and Asian food.
Okay, so with pasta, what do you do? Like you don't just eat pasta, like
No,
something meaty.
Yes, of course,
sauce.
bolognese, which is like al ragu or carbonara, or I have this particular pasta that I really like. It's my father was making in the restaurant. So you put chicken breast, peas, mushrooms, and this white sauce, and with like pasta and with a lot of parmesan, and I'm like, it's delicious for me, you know. I really like that one.
And so for the second question, how much Lithuanian cuisine changed what you eat and what you like, or?
Oh, first of all, one thing that I think at this point everyone that saw any of my videos knows is that I hate meat. I hate it so much that you cannot understand. My body is so sensitive to it, you know. I don't know why. People will tell me, oh, you know, you can try it here. You don't taste it that much. I'm like, no, I do taste it that much.
Interesting.
I just get this. I even feel the smell. Like if someone will be at that table and eating mina, I can feel okay, maybe that's exaggeration, but here, you know, I can literally feel the smell of the mina, and it's disgusting. I hate it. So I don't like your bread, guys, because it has mina. Though Yore, the black one, it doesn't have mina, so I like that one. And what Lithuanian cuisine? I haven't cooked anything Lithuanian, but šaltibarščiai.
Of course.
Yes. So I have this book that I received for my birthday
I
with
saw
Lithuanian
that video,
recipes.
yeah.
Tomorrow I'm actually gonna make another recipe because I really wanted to post every week a recipe. But then I went in vacation. I even took the book with me in Romania. But I'm like, I'm not gonna do now. I'm not gonna make food now and can have my mom to cook for me, you know. So I'm gonna make tomorrow another recipe, and I really want to commit at least like every year to make one recipe.
You're making a lot of promises and everything is on tape. Like
Yes.
you will learn Lithuanian, you will start cooking Lithuanian food.
That's actually, well, yes, I have that goal and I want to stick by it. So
You might need to have another podcast like in 2 months and then
you
get
see
back
where I got, yes.
and see where you got, how much Lithuanian do you know.
Promises. Well, in 1 month of Lithuanian, because I will start, actually I will start next week, so.
Come on, like you know some basics.
I know, of course, I know basics, I know how to survive,
Survive.
So survival mode.
Interesting.
If I go to Maxima, I know you know how to answer to things and so on, but I don't know more than that, so.
Okay, so what are the main used phrases that you know?
Of course, ačiū, laba diena, labas, viso gero, prašom. I think these are the most used
Your
ones,
accent is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't mean like disrespect, like start laughing, but like.
No, I don't get it disrespectful at all, you know.
Yeah,
So
how do you say laba diena?
laba diena.
So I see there's, and as before, as you said, sodiba, it's like really soft, like really. Yeah, so like a little bit to the French side, like.
Oh, really?
Soft,
Wow, thank you.
Soft. I don't even know how to say it. Like we're Lithuanians, we're like tan. You know, like soft, like that. I don't even know how to say it, but
Okay, that sounds nice.
to
also.
listen to it, it's like really interesting. Like that soft spelling and everything. It's like I wouldn't say like shock, but that's like I know those words, but they don't sound like that. What's happening?
Yes, it's an accent, definitely. I don't think I will ever get rid of it. I'm not even planning to get rid of it, you know.
So it's like accepting what you like and everything.
Yes, I mean, you know, for example, if I, as Romanian, hear someone speaking Romanian with an accent, I'm like, oh my God, this person, he's foreigner. I can tell that he's not Romanian, you know, like people can tell that I'm not Lithuanian. And for me, it's so much more like I so like this person because he put effort, you know, to learn the language, and you can see that effort in the accent, you know. So I don't think Lithuanian will ever be my main language of communication here, even if I would speak it better. I mean, even if I would speak it, let's just say like this, because it's so easier to speak in English here. Everyone speaks English, which is making it more difficult for foreigners to learn Lithuanian because there are know.
Constantly in English.
Yes,
talking.
exactly. So of course there are situations maybe when you're going to some like villages, let's say, or people don't speak there, and you can use it there. But for us foreigners, I don't think, especially if you're not married with a Lithuanian or something where you can practice at home, it's never gonna be
Constant
our
like improvement.
Yes, exactly. So it's never gonna be our main language. It's still gonna be English, but it's good, you know, to know that you can speak it in certain situations and can understand.
So for young old people, yeah, it's English. For older, as you saw, it was Russian.
Yes, yes, and yeah, I was thinking at some point, oh my god, maybe I should learn Russian because it's like more helpful if you're traveling. We went to Georgia, we went with 2 Russian friends to Georgia, and it was such a blessing that they were there because they were doing the communication. We would have been lost if not, you know. Everyone there speaks Russian in all these countries, Armenia, so on and so forth. They also are Russian speakers, so it will be, but I want to learn Lithuanian. I really said now I want to learn Lithuanian. I really want to dedicate time to that. And let's see how that goes. I don't promise I will know a lot in 2 months, but
yeah, but we will see. We will see. We will push it to your promise, and you can get your vocabulary. And okay, I learned this, guys.
Oh my god, I'm like getting anxiety thinking of those lessons, but
I mean, it's everything like it's hard until it's easy.
yes, and but it's a difficult language, you know. It's a difficult language.
We have overall, I think you can learn and to say certain things and everything, but if you would go deep into, I don't know, a few words to English, but how to spell something, at which point to say it,
yes,
that's quite hard. We have different letters than like English. We have, as I said, like we Lithuanians, we can say like English alphabet quite easily.
yes,
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, and yeah. I don't know Lithuanian alphabet, to be honest. If we would need, it's A, Anosine,
okay, yes,
B, C, C, Chi, and like we have U will go like, it's like we don't even know that one.
yes, yes. It's very difficult, and it's not encouraging, you know, from people. I have a lot of friends that they are telling me that, oh my god, you should not even learn because it's so difficult.
As with everything, for me, like Norwegian, if I spell it correctly, like that's, my father's sister, no, whatever, our relative listen there and they come, it's like we call it the bird language.
Could be.
And like check, we're looking at it. Yeah, it's normal for me. Like I think Norway would be, but I think I never studied. I never even tried it. So,
so just by hearing
from the
it,
side,
you know?
I think from the side, when you first heard Lithuanian, you were like, what is this hell?
Yes, it really sounded. It was so, and I think a lot of foreigners can agree with me on this. The beginning, because you don't really have a lot of knowledge of Lithuanian language, you know, when you come here. For me, it really sounded like Russian language. Like it sounded like it had the same way of pronouncing.
It does, because we were in Russia a long time.
Yes, well, that one makes, it's still like 2 separate languages. I understand that. After a few months, it was like, oh my god, how could I say that they are similar, you know, because they are so different languages. But the way people were talking in the beginning, since I never been in contact with this kind of like languages, it really sounded like similar, you know.
And we do have certain words that now we try to get rid of our vocabulary, but since we were so long in Russian side, they were like, we got used to it.
Yes, and it's normal. We also have a lot of words, for example, in Transylvania, a region where I am from, because Transylvania used to belong to Hungary, and we only got it like 100 years ago or so. We still have a lot of words that are Hungarian that we are using, you know. So I'm like, don't you think we are used to that, you know? Yes, it's like you don't even think, oh my god, I should not use this word because it's Hungarian. You're just like, okay, it's normal.
And we spoke a lot of Lithuanian, how your experience here, but how about Romania? Like, you grew up there and it's your home country, so like you probably have even more to talk about Romania. So one of the things would be like if someone Lithuanian or whatever would come to Romania, like what would you recommend for first-time Romanian visitors, tourists? Like you have to do this.
Yes, actually, I do have some people that have been texting me, Lithuanians, that they are planning to travel to Romania, you know, and what kind of recommendations I have. And I'm always open if people text me anything like this to guide them. First of all, the thing that I'm telling everyone, please don't stick to Bucharest. Like, it's a capital, it's nice. I'm not a big fan of Bucharest. There are, of course, very impressive things. You can see Parliament, Palace of Parliament, the second heaviest building in the world. Like, it's massive, you know, like super nice. Nightlife there again is like amazing. But overall, it's nothing special, you know, about the city, and everyone is just usually sometimes visiting the capital, you know. We have a lot of nature in Romania, and we have mountains, you know, that's a lot of mountains, and we have different, how they are called, you know, like nature stuff, you know, not mountains, but we have sea as well. We have
highs and lows.
Yes, exactly. Like landscapes, let's just say, from
yeah.
different kinds. I have no clue how it's relief in Romanian, the language, but I don't know how it's in English. Try to go to nature, you know, try to go to the mountains. And I personally really like way more the Transylvania part of Romania. Literally after you're crossing the mountains, because you have to cross the mountains in order to get to Transylvania region, it just feels like you're in different Romania. Yes, there are a lot of beautiful cities there, Brașov, Sibiu. These are very cultural and historical city. And a lot of times people are surprised, you know, even when they see my stories and so on. Oh my God, I didn't know that Romania is so beautiful. Like, what did you expect? To just like see broken houses, you know, everywhere and stuff like this. It's a big country, you know.
So it's a bit like perspective a lot of. In Lithuania, same, like if you will be in Vilnius like for a long time, you forget that there's big forest and everything.
Yes.
Like few years, not this summer, but last summer, I took my friend and we did like big loop around the Lithuania.
Oh, that's a very cool.
So start from Kupiškis to Biržai, Ignalina, Vilnius, Kaunas, and then to Palanga.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
then we're like, yeah, we're driving more in the forest than we are in the cities. Like there's vast, like small towns and vast forests.
Yes,
all the Lithuania. And then we got back, like, I was in Kaunas for a year, I think. And you forget about it. You forget about the forest and everything. You wake up, you go to work, you're in the city, your car and everything. And same, I think, with big countries, even though it's way more outside your city and your house.
Yes, exactly. So nature it's amazing in Romania. And actually, even I have to go and see so much more of Romania because I really didn't travel much in Romania. I travel way more outside of Romania than in Romania, and I see all my friends that they kind of like settled down, you know, in Romania, stopped traveling so much, and they discovered the country. I'm like, I didn't know we have this, you know, and have to go there as well.
I think it's similar in all the countries. Like Lithuanians also, Turkey to the hot sides, to wherever to see. But we have a lot in Lithuania now. Like Molėtai is not that far away, and we started hanging out, and they were like, "Hey, let's go!" And there's a big pond, not really like lake, and there's a lot of new things. Like you can musically, like big circle. You can play with how's that? I don't remember.
The bass or what?
Yeah, so those.
Yes. I think it's bass, whatever.
That's the great thing about language. You don't need to know the words. You need to the way to express it.
Exactly.
Like, and there's a lot of real nice stuff, and like I never saw it.
Yeah.
And in the same, we're always looking outwards, like and somewhere will be better, somewhere in a different city it will be. The grass is greener on the other side, you know. And more often we forget what we have with the nature, with our abilities, with our passions and everything.
Yes, that's totally true, and that's actually a very important thing. You know, we should all be more appreciating of nature, generally speaking.
Just to look inwards and what we have right now, not what we imagine. Like, so that is a lot, and that only perspective that hey, we have everything here.
Yes,
and we haven't explored everything within ourselves, within our countries and everything.
Yes, for
sure.
So
what kind of exploring will you do in the future?
For this year, I'm actually gonna go
this year is ending like 3 months.
Yes, but I still have some plans, you know, like travel. I usually have a lot of traveling plans, and it's very. Sometimes I love doing that, you know, like I really love traveling, and I really think I'm traveling a lot. Sometimes I'm like feeling like, oh, I just need to stay in one place, you know, because it's a bit too much. But I like that. I love cultures, generally speaking. I'm obsessed with cultures.
So and, like the history, what part of
people,
it? Food,
just yeah, food for sure. I'm a foodie. I'm like love food, you know. I would, I cannot imagine going to a country and not trying their food, you know. But I like to see how people live and how they behave according to the beliefs they have from their cultures, you know. So it's very interesting for me. This is why I also like Lithuania, living in Lithuania a lot, because there is this difference from my culture, which is very interesting for me, you know. So that it's not the same as what I'm used to, you know. And I have so many friends from all over the world, literally. And I can communicate with them in English, and we all find the common ground, and we are all friends, but we are also different, you know, in the same time. And this is why I think I would never like, and I don't see myself going back to Romania, even though I love Romania. I'm like very proud of being Romanian, but I don't see myself living there because I know that I will not have this cultural experience, you know. I will just be surrounded by Romanians. I will just be very easy. Life will be very easy for me there, you know. Would be so much more easier, you know, than here.
So you seek adventure.
Yes, I like that, and I like challenges also, you know.
Yeah, so basically adventure.
Yes,
you go out, you try something, you face challenges along the way. And I really enjoy, like, video games are made like that to get you addicted. Like it's like a real life.
Yes.
There are levels. You level up, you try something, you find new grounds, and you get money. You have something in return. And to keep everything and that basically speaks with us.
Yes, that's totally true.
We need adventure, we need quests, like, okay, on the podcast, we'll need to say something, right?
Yes.
So other challenges, adventures like that really gets it.
Yes, and it's true. It's a way an adventure, generally speaking, living abroad, wherever you're living,
That's
you know.
a big adventure, like.
So it's a matter of all this process that I was talking about 4 years, that my experience in the beginning was so different than my experience now. And now I can say that I love being here and I really enjoy, you know. Then I experienced both sides. I experienced the dark side, let's just call it, in the beginning. And now I'm like, okay, I know how to handle things, you know, like I know how to take things. I love, you know, like these differences and so on, because now I know how to deal with them. So,
do you think that without those struggles in the first place, you wouldn't value that much Lithuania?
Yes, I think so. For sure, you know, it's a process, as I said.
Challenges helps you grow, and you grow into.
Yes, and I honestly, I'm very grateful even for those times that I had in the beginning, even they were dark and so on. And I'm grateful even for my ex that he brought me here, you know. So I'm like, I would never be the person that I am today if I didn't go through that phase of my life, you know. And I was at 22 years old. I didn't know anything about like meeting new people, even though I had some experiences abroad, but you won't believe it, but I was a very quiet person, you know. It was very difficult for me to make friends, to talk and so on. Even though in my group of friends I was always opinionated, but when it comes to friends from not Romanian friends, generally speaking with other cultures, I was very like a bit reserved, you know.
You needed to find your voice. Right?
Yes, exactly. So this is what I really enjoy, that I've been through that part, that now I'm like, I can speak about it, you know. I'm like, okay, it's gone. It made me who I am today, which I love, and it's amazing, you know. So.
I think it's a lot encouraging. We forget about, like, did you get anyone going through that process that was stop and getting to know each other and getting into workspace? Did you have anything that helped you, support you, like mentally?
No, I haven't been to therapy or anything like this, you know. I think it was just... it went step by step, and every step of the way happened at its own time, you know?
Yeah, so but you were on your own, like you didn't have a friend that you could just get like close friend that you can just
Yes,
talk to?
I had a close friend. I had a very good close friend, and we became very close after I broke up with my ex because I moved alone. I started a new job. I started also like studying, so it was a mess, you know. It was like so many changes in my life. And I got a very good friend from the work where I was working, the new work. She was Romanian, and we were doing everything together, you know. So we were inseparable, let's just say like this. And she was very close to me, but she left. She left me. She went back to Romania. So that happened 2 years ago. And yeah, I still miss her, but I think it's important to deal with some things yourself, you know. So
yeah, but I think it's quite inspirational story where it's like, yeah, you're basically like lost in this other country. You don't have any friends. You don't know what's how, and there's a lot of trickery, like with soldier and everything. Like it's not working. Why it's not working? I live here. You don't live here. With all that struggle beside, and you went through it, and then you're really happy.
Yes, exactly. And you know, when I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, I remember I called my mom and I said that we broke up, and she was like, "Oh my God, so you're returning home," you know? Actually, no. I think that I would really like to stay more here and really experience life here on my own and see if I have the same experience, generally speaking, that I had, you know. And I think that was the best decision of my life, not to return home, because really that was the turning point where I could really start to enjoy everything more and see from different perspectives.
So quite an inspirational story for anyone in the other country or anything. Like, go through it. If you believe it, go through it, and there will be fruit, like they say, on the other side.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's a matter of your attitude always. So if you're having this attitude, oh, everything is bad, I hate it, I hate this and this and this, then you're gonna only see that, you know. But if you're like, okay, let's make an effort, like my manager said, okay, try to go into conversation, to jump into conversations, try to like speak with someone randomly or so on and so forth, you know. So you have to have this attitude of trying, generally speaking, as a foreigner. You have to put more effort, so that's normal.
So I will jump, since we were there, now we move, stay here a little bit.
Okay.
So it's
what you shouldn't have.
It's basically a tradition, so I had to have.
Okay.
Every time I have a guest, it's like you bring yourself to here, you spread your knowledge, you give out something. And I really value that, and I value giving something back.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much.
I don't know your taste, so that was a little bit like difficult. But these contents are...
No, my taste is just wine, so you know.
The contents are Lithuanian.
Okay, okay.
So
that's
maybe
so
you will
nice.
find something. And it was really nice talking to you.
Thank
and we'll
you so
probably,
much.
as I said, we'll reach back in a few months. You're a really nice person and warm to talk to.
Thank you so much. It was
Maybe
very
we will
nice.
make a TikToks or something like creative project. That would be interesting. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching.
Thank you
And
so
we will
much.
see you on the next episode. If you will need to find Andra, you will find links in the description and everywhere. Just search Andra, you will find it. You'll find Artūro Media everywhere. I launched my website finally, it's arturomedialt. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye. Bye.